Um, let's just have this talk. This is gonna be pretty fun. Put my headset on. Make sure that's straight. So I know excessive noise coming through. All right, got that together. All right, let's make sure that's good. All right. Okay, that's connecting, so that's all right. Make sure that's connecting, so when we get started, we'll get going. Go talk about this Metacritic score. Talk about what's going on with this. Make sure trying to make sure my webcam is working. I just wanted to try this webcam out. I don't know how good it is, and it may go in and out. But this is all a test because this is a new setup or whatever. So whatever the case may be, it's going to it may come off a little weird, but nevertheless, it's all good. So it's all a test run for the webcam at least. And we'll just go from there. Let me see. Okay, that's good. So I'm just waiting for that for a few more people to show up. We're gonna talk about this Metacritic score. Waiting for my webcam to decide to act right. It's not necessarily a webcam, it's just my tablet. So my iPad is being used as a webcam right now until I decide to buy one. I keep putting it off. I may get one tomorrow, I don't know. But nevertheless, what's up with these Metacritic scores? Why are they happening? Is it warranted? Is it something that EA should be thinking about? Is it something that they should be alarmed by? I mean, what do you guys think it is? I'm pretty curious about that. I want to know what you guys think along with myself. So I find it interesting that we're dealing with look like a review bombing basically, and right now I'm looking on Metacritic. Let's see. Looking like on Metacritc, we're looking at a 0.4 score, 66 by critic reviews. I'm gonna refresh that and see. Yeah, ain't much change. 767 people decided to overwhelmingly dislike this. So if you decide to come through, I want to know your thoughts about this, and we'll just go from there. Let's see. It's still connecting. I'm gonna let that keep going until it gets right. If not, then it is what it is. But all right, shut up, Pat Mahomes. All right, I'm gonna look at these scores. I'm gonna scroll down, and we're gonna look at some of the comments of these scores. On the top of that, I want to know what everybody else thoughts. I'm gonna give you my thoughts as well. What do I think about it? I think you already know where I stand. I think for the most part, I think that Madden does play a pretty decent game, but at the end of the day, the modes are hurting the game. But I don't think it's warranted a 0.4, but the modes are definitely hurting the game. Antonio Wilson says, "Hey VF, I think EA should be concerned about the Metacritic score." Yeah, I think they should be. I think they should be as well. Uh, honestly, I think they should be as well. So I'm not necessarily not necessarily really worried about them personally, but as a company, they should be worried about it. DJ said, I'm definitely wanting to say something, but I'm trying to find my notes. What's going on, Noble? What's up? What's up? What's up with you? How's everything going with you today? I'm testing out this webcam, which is not really working too well, but that's okay. Not too worried about it, but it's all a test. The game is copy and paste from past games. People are upset. It looks great, but it's not looking good. It's not always good. They need competition in the market. Yeah, you need to take that up with the NFL. I agree with you. It would be great to have another game, but it looks like we're not going to get that till Madden 26, Madden 27. I'm on Discord, DJ. I cannot send you an invite. I do apologize. So, wow. My transmission blew on my car today. It's been that kind of day. Damn, that's crazy. Antonio Wilson thinks Work Birdie Gaming made a very good point. I think he does. I think people are really tired of the game. I will play devil's advocate for a second and say that, all right, this is the end of the generation. There's nothing that was going to really blow anyone away. I didn't think it was going to be the case. So with that being said, I didn't expect for it to be anything, extraordinary. This is one of the years I would have thought it'd be copy and paste with next gen coming up, but that doesn't give it an excuse for them to be a much better game. Like I said, I enjoy it for what it is, and I think that's the thing about me. I play the game for what it is, and on top of that, I think on top of that, I just just go through the motions and just play the game, because I know what's there. I think I just double talk myself, but you kind of know what I'm getting at. When this game was coming out, I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be anything out of the way that was going to be like amazing or anything. What is going on, the Quay Face? Appreciate you coming through. Really appreciate you. So when the game came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I think the gameplay is pretty decent. I think it's good in my opinion. It's one of the best. It's one of the best gameplay that I've had in Madden in a long time. But I do agree, the game is very stale. I mean, I don't get anything out of franchise mode, and it's really it's ridiculous, because Madden franchise mode should have been at least it should have been at least competent. It should have been at least up on something by now. So all right, what I'm gonna do here is, let me take this off the screen. Yeah, let me take that off the screen, because my webcam is not working. When it decides to pop back up, then I'll try to make some use of it. Ain't that something? It's trying now as soon as I take it off the screen. Well, yeah, I think I meant to say that OBS. Well, all right, let's do this. Let's look at some of the scores and let's figure out what the hell is going on. Is it really being review bombed? Is it really warranted? I think the 0.4 score is definitely being review bombed. I think it's absolutely nuts that it's actually this low. And I don't think you all may agree with me, but I don't think Madden is this bad to its 0.4. Hey, to each his own, right? Some people may think it, some people not. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's somewhere around where 65 is what the Metascore says. I can get that. I can understand that. Yeah, let's see. Noble says, honestly, I think if they improve franchise mode, at least half the things we want, people would still not be happy because Madden is just tainted like Live was. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I mean, you also have to understand that Madden is in a state to where not only that the game could be good, I think a lot of people have a lot of jet lag when it comes to Madden. It's the only game that's been around. I think it's the only game that's been around for so long. You would want a different experience after a while. I think it's one of those games where it's like, okay, I've played Madden for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years, and it gets to the point where, all right, the game feels the same. It runs the same. Yes, you have some new animations, and it may feel a little bit more smooth, but it's almost to the point where if you play Madden 21, you can go back and play Madden 13, Madden 25, or any other Maddens around that area up until 21, and the game, for the most part, may still feel the same. And I think for consumers, they just get tired of that. I don't blame them for that. You know what I mean? And then, like what Noble D just said, another 5 years that we're gonna have to deal with this. You know, like I said, it gets to the point where if you want to enjoy this game, you have to just basically lower your expectations, and that's not fair to anybody. It really don't. It's not fair to any. I mean, it really don't. It's just not a good look. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, let's see. Now, Work Birdie Gaming, you can go further back than that. They got further back than, you can probably say 2014, 2013 assets. I mean, the game is just that bad. It's to the point where they have those kind of assets to where it's just that low. You know what I mean? It's just that. I mean, it's just that bad when they have those type of assets in them, where it's probably further back than 2019. 65 is a D grade regardless. Yeah, 65 is very low for pretty much any game for the most part. I would say if a game is actually worth the play, I would say at least you give it a 75 and 80. Quayface also says this score don't matter until next gen comes out. I don't know. I think a lot of people will hang their hat on next gen a little bit too much. I think a lot of people are hanging their hat on next gen way too much, and they get in. Just be careful with that. Just be careful, because I'm not sure if that's a good look. All right, let's try this real quick. All right. Look like I can be seen now. Look like I can be heard as well. So that's great. Guess I had to change a little bit of things on my my tablet. So I'm looking pretty good here. All right, so let's look at some of these scores and let's react to them. We're gonna go. Here's a critic review. Somebody put an 80 right here. And 80 Screen Rant says, EA hasn't birthed a new concept this year, but the game doesn't break in what has been working all this time, even if it comes out at the cost of feeling stale to the series. I think that's pretty much what Work Birdie Gaming said is outside of the competition. Sega the Goat Shack says, this very well could be the best Madden this generation. Is very I don't believe that. Now that's a little bit over the top. Sega the Goat Shack is he gotta be joking. It ain't that good. Bad the Goat says, if you weren't paying attention to the font and color scheme, you could put Madden 20 and you not realize you weren't playing Madden 21. There's no upgrade to franchise mode in a game that tries to hold on to being simulation go-to for football. This is absolute robbery and a complete slap in the face to loyal Madden fans. I think this right here is on point. Now, does this warrant a 1? I don't know. I don't think that warrants a 1 because he's talking about the franchise mode in general. So if you're just talking about the franchise mode, okay, I can get it where it's a 1. But if you look at the entire game, like we're supposed to be reviewing the entire game, then I don't think it's a 1 because I think the game plays a pretty decent game of football on the field. I don't think it's that bad. But I think everything else he said is on point though. I think it's pretty much on point. Attack of the Felony gives it an 80. Let's see. I'm gonna skim through this real quick. Madden 21 as a whole feel a bit let down compared to past few years. The yard definitely makes it worthwhile. Yeah, with the free upgrade, a next generation version promising of treating franchise like a live. So wait a minute. Okay. I had to stop that for a second. The promise of treating franchise like a live service as the season goes on. Madden 21 is still likely going to be well worth the purchase in the long run, even if you may be left a little dissatisfied at this point. Yeah, I don't know about that. Get out of the way, Pat Mahomes. Digital Chump says, all right. It still has flaws, but maybe one of the best Maddens yet. On the field, I can agree with that on the field, but these modes or whatever he's talking about, I can't get with that. Yeah, my son is coughing. He's halfway asleep. Zorro Thomas 7 says, same old money stealing game with the monopoly on the franchise. If you buy this game, you need help. I guess I need help. Well, I didn't buy the game. I got it on EA Access. So on EA Access, I paid what the $15 a year to get all the EA games or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what I paid. Hey, if you guys haven't already, man, hit the like button, man, and let people know what I'm doing over here. I'm gonna go put this out on Twitter real quick. I think I forgot to do that. Let's see. Twinfinite, this is an actual review. Madden 28 is fine, serviceable other than the yard. I guess he meant 21. But there's almost nothing worth getting excited over this year. Here's hoping the new consoles do something to move Madden forward at some point in the near future. Yeah, I'm with that. All right, so 60, 60, 45. Let's see what DualShockers say. DualShockers say Madden 21 is a mess. Last year, the team masked bad gameplay with shiny new X Factor abilities. However, with 21 not fixing any of the big issues, the luster is completely gone. What you're left with is a game that is fully concentrated on squeezing every last cent out of its customer base. That's nothing new for EA, but Madden NFL 21 seems more blatant than usual. I'm about 80 to 90% with this particular review right here. Let's see. The rule says no passion from EA. Looks like last year Madden, but worse. I don't know about that. Don't waste your money unless you have EA access. I absolutely agree with that. NFL 2K5 Madden 05 has more content than this. Hashtag fix franchise mode. Like somebody is a part of the community on that one. Noble said I'd give it a 5 as a whole. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think a 5 is fair. Let's see. Talking Madden. Metacritc. Y'all gotta excuse me, y'all. I type slow on the phone. Anybody else got anything else to say real quick? I got that out there. Nobody put out anything else up yet? All right, J. Roth says horrible game, worst sports game on the market. EA should be ashamed. Time to give up the license. I can agree with that. It is time to give up the license. They need to go ahead and they need to open up the license. You got to. I mean, it's an NFL thing, but still, I think the license should be open. I totally agree with that. I mean, this should be a shock. Most glitchy, undertended Madden in years. EA has no respect for its customers. That's why we nerd to boycott them. Fix Madden franchise. I'm starting to see a trend here. Let's look at the other user reviews. Let's go by most helpful. They got all the zeros as most helpful because I guess most of the people say they found it helpful. All right, let's see. Scott Smith said the most problems I have are just glitches. I have to blame more on COVID. State of Franchise Sports said at least we know it's not graded on a curve. Scott Smith also said I feel that if they was working from home, they could get caught on most of these bugs. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have not encountered any of these bugs yet. I can honestly say that, and I guess I'm considered lucky because I know the bugs are out there. I've seen people with the bugs and all the issues or whatever. The game has been patched, but I don't know what's been fixed because I haven't played it since the patch. An atrocious football simulation game, EA has greatly expanded the number of game modes over the past couple of years at a detriment to depth and immersion of all modes in the game. This game has added no features to its already anemic franchise mode, and it features many bugs released such as rainbow-colored coaches, players wearing the wrong college jerseys in face of the franchise, and blank fields that have no sidelines or hash marks, just to name a select few. The yard serves as the only excuse to monetize the game further. Face of the franchise has pathetically cringy story. Ultimate Team is atrociously laggy. Gameplay and AI flaws from previous titles have continued into this one as well. You can only get so much fun from broken gameplay. Please do not give $60 or more for this piss poor effort. Let's see. Let's look at the chat. The license would be open. It'll make the NFL more money. I agree. Noble says, nah, Madden got a massive bugs in every year. That COVID reason ain't it. What's going on, Obi-Wan? I appreciate you coming through. Scott Smith also said, I played the yard and I could pick the players on my team and it never let me pick a quarterback. I had to play the quarterback to fix it. That's crazy, man. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you now. I'm not going to sit here and say the bugs aren't there. I mean, I'm not blind. But when you look at these things and it's like, well, damn, it's like, are y'all like testing this game before it comes out? I mean, I'm one of the few people that does not have issues with the game. Oh shoot, I'm backwards. Okay, that's better. Now you actually can read everything, and I'm actually faced the right way now. So that looks good. But it should not have to be this way to the point where you are sitting here trying to do what I do and find a way to have fun with the game and just settle. You shouldn't have to settle. One of the things, the reason why I did decide to get this game, it wasn't because I necessarily like Madden or whatever. I literally wanted to put some new football content on my channel, and I'm going to continue to play it because I think it plays a pretty decent game of football. And from what I see, a lot of people, they tend to like the content, but I don't know how much fun I'm going to have playing it because it may get to the point where in the middle of the season I may get tired of it again. Because don't get me wrong, gameplay is one of the best and one of the most important things when it comes to any game. That's important. But if you don't feel immersed, I mean, does it really matter? You know what I mean? If you're not immersed in the game, it's like, okay, what am I doing here? So I just find that really weird that they did not, even attempt to address those type of things. Hold on one second, fellas. I want to make sure. Make sure this is plugged up. Okay, there we go. But let's look at some more. It's gonna go random around and ha 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 ha. Look at this right here. Playmon 512. Okay, here's the bottom line. I am sick and tired of seeing hate every day, and this need to stop. Madden 21 is a great game. If you're unhappy, then I respect how you feel. But you take things too far. Stop in capital letters. Look how many people found this useful. 0 out of 64 users found this helpful. Scott Smith said I should stream Face of the Franchise and laugh at the horrible story. It could be a fun roast. Hey, I might do that. I just never been a fan of like those type of story based games. I did enjoy the one on 2K. I think it was 2K19. I did enjoy that one. That was funny. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was funny. That was actually a good story. We already read Sega Goat Shack 1. We already read that. Down Vot Merchant says the best game I've ever played, The Witcher. Man, you know, these people need to stop. Y'all look at this. The best game I ever played, The Witcher who? Stop. Okay, this is interesting. M Pinter 9 says, as a pro Madden player, yes, go look me up. My name is Deliverance. We are often the most critical of Madden. I will say this year, this is probably the best game it's been at launch in a while. I will agree with that outside of the bugs, which I have not encountered. So I can agree with him in that. Sure, there may be some visual bugs and small details to iron out, but the actual gameplay feels great this year, and that is what people should be focusing on. I could disagree with that. But the gameplay does feel great. I will agree with that. New intelligent features like zone drops to help show your ability to outthink your opponent is an amazing addition to the game. I agree. The zone drops are good. Superstar abilities has been tuned to provide more realism and more scale gap into the game. Yeah, whatever. Madden 21 has the potential to be one of the best in franchise history. I absolutely disagree. Definitely give the game a try before you write it off. The rating score on Metacritc does not do this game justice. All right. 2K football or football 2K17. I don't want to read that one. Next Doc says Madden 21 is nearly the same game as Madden 13 on the PS3. Didn't I just say this earlier? I said that's like when Work Birdie said that they still have assets from 2019. I said that you can go further back. And next doc is like right there on the money. Same animations, body sculpts, and gameplay. Franchise mode is yet again neglected and in favor of new ways to take money from idiots who spend money on Ultimate Team. The yard is unwelcome. I'm not sure why those critics praise the new mode. After the mode, most play franchise is neglected. X Factors are great, and that's about it. I can agree with that. The franchise mode is definitely neglected. Let's see. Scott Smith says, I've been having fun playing the yard, but I linked the wrong EA account for the mobile version, so I can't unlink it. That's terrible. M Val, what's going on? Long time, I haven't seen you in a while. Would love to have a convo with people who like to use the word hate when it comes to Madden. It's not all hate. It's a lot of legit frustrations. I absolutely agree with that. I think that everybody who's upset with Madden is legit frustrated. There's no reason to think otherwise. I think people really are frustrated with the game. I totally agree with you on that. Absolutely. Let me pull this up real quick. I do appreciate everybody who's here, man. I was supposed to be here earlier. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to do another stream on my other channel, but I think I'm gonna change that till tomorrow because I got a lot of things to talk about when it comes to real social issues. But I was gonna do that tonight, but I really didn't feel up to it. Also, my son was like beating me over the head and wanting to play until he fell asleep. So that's why I'm so late. Yeah, man, we all just working in Val. I totally understand, man. I'm the same way, just working, man, just trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all we can do. Just thankful to have a job, because some people just aren't able to work with all this other stuff. I see. So you just reading other reviews? Yeah. That's the title of the stream, Pooh. We're talking about Metacritic scores. That's the title. I mean, cause the reason why I'm reading them because I want to see where everybody's mind at. Is it really being review bombed, or is it people like with legit complaints? Because when you get review bombed, most people just put 0 and just say, just hashtag fits Madden franchise, or they would just hashtag this game sucks, or don't buy. But from what I see so far, a lot of people are really giving it a low score because they have like legitimate complaints, and that's what I really wanted to look at. And on top of that, I wanted to see if other people felt the same way. What's the name of my second channel? My second channel is called Virtual Frame of Mind. I would put it in the description, but that'll make me have to move all over. I really don't want to move out of here and switch accounts on my YouTube channel. But it's called the Virtual Frame of Mind if you want to go over there and check it out. Scott Smith said, did I see Clint saying rating a 2 is better than a 1? Yeah, I saw that. I think DJ sent that to me to where, I think DJ sent that to me in the DM. Dude, what the hell is he thinking? Like, just get off Twitter, bro. Get off Twitter with that foolishness, man. Let's see. Ralph Presswood said, I agree with most of the reviews. The game actually regressed. Game speed can't be changed. It's one of the first things I noticed when I played this game. The game speed cannot be changed. And I felt like the game was moving too fast. And I wanted to change the speed, but I couldn't. So he said, so it's like an arcade. I agree. Now, if you want me to have a gripe about this game, I think that's one of my main gripes of the game. The game moves entirely too fast to the point where I feel that they need the game speed back. The music is terrible, but what made it worse, there's no orchestra music. This guy sounds like an OG because some of the old Madden used to have the orchestra NFL films music in it. I personally only have the orchestra music because the music is always terrible. The penalties are cranked up and it does nothing for the simulation setting. I would skip this year. It's so bad. This is my first review. Madden 20 movements was more realistic. What the hell happened? Wow. Now see, when I look at these type of reviews, this is when you can see, this is like people with real gripes. These are people with real, complaints. These aren't people that's necessarily review bombing the game. I think Ralph Presswood has a legitimate issue with the game. And I respect that. This is not people just mad. These are people that are legitimately frustrated because their love of football is not replicated in a football game. And I think that is, I think this is a perfect, storm for people. Ravens Nation, what's going on, bro? Glad to see you here. I never understood why they took out the NFL films music. Do you remember reviewing the replay from Madden 9 to 11 and hearing the classic Raiders music come on? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time when you went in and out of the review, the instant replay, they will have a different type of orchestra type music, a different type of NFL films music. I'm actually surprised they did take that out because it's one of the good things that you kind of look forward to in playing the game. You got to think about it. Even NFL Fever had it. You know what I mean? So why would you take it out of a game that you already had it? Boogie Woogie says, the zeros and the 10s are just silly review bombing. I played the 10-hour trial. The game is not a 0, but it's not much better. Frankly, the biggest issue is the CPU defensive AI. It's atrocious. The game is not tuned for single-player games. However, even in multiplayer, you can't use it everyone. The defensive coverage AI is broken. and that affects the entire game. 4 points for some nice new animations and player movement use. I can agree with this for the most part as well. I think the coverage is broken. I think the coverage has like serious problems. So I do agree with that. I think everything else is pretty much on point here. Let's look over here to PlayStation Life on this edge right here. PlayStation Life, this is a critic review. It says, Madden NFL 21 feels very much like the byproduct of a game being developed in a vacuum, devoid of any true competition. Why bother reinventing the wheel when you are the only person manufacturing them? Let's look at that again. Let's highlight that. He said, why bother reinventing the wheel when you are the only person manufacturing them? Hey, Ravens Nation, you don't have to explain that, man. That's life, man. There's nothing wrong with that. If you got to work and you can't, and that's one of the reasons why we have the podcast on iTunes or SoundCloud. Just download the podcast whenever you get a chance. You can listen to it at any time you want to. You can be your own podcast director. You can put us in any other shape or form with other podcasts that you listen to, and you can download it and listen to it whenever you get ready. You don't have to apologize, man. We know that you're a great supporter. That's not a problem. You know what I mean? So that's why we constantly try to give everybody the options that you don't have to catch us live, all the time. We love it if you do. But if you can't catch us live, man, download the podcast. Either if you got the iPhone or Android, Google Play or iTunes. Hell, if you don't like either one of them, go to SoundCloud. So it's no big deal, man. That's life, bro. It's all good. So let's get back to this highlighted quote I put right here. PlayStation Lifestyle said, why bother reinventing the wheel when you are the only person manufacturing them? That is a very good analogy. Really good. Jared, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Mval says, a part of the problem EA has allowed hecklers and a frustrated crowd to coalesce by sidestepping the focus of creating a complete sim experience for the short-term money. Yeah, man, I think on episode 53 we talked about that, where they make money. I mean, they're making billions with a B in microtransactions. So they're pretty much catered to them, any way they can. This lack of inspiration feels like a breeding ground for many franchise biggest complaints. Most of us, which has been festering too long, and it's a good thing that the next generation is on the horizon, because without that new tech boost to hang their hat on, there's nothing substantial enough to recommend this fumble over last year's outing. Ouch. Even though they gave him a 55, that the comment of this review don't match that 55. It sounds like it was harsher than that. That sounds like something that'd be like around a 35. But I really like this analogy about reinventing the wheel. I like that a lot. Let's jump back over here to one of these other ones. Let's see. Jester301 says, myself and 10 others only buy this game for online franchise mode, and it has been bare bones as it is. This year is a worthless copy and paste when it is the only choice. We look forward to having a choice when EA loses this monopoly on NFL football. It's going to be like 2025, 2026, man. That is 5 years from now. We could possibly get more people making this game. That's crazy. It's really ridiculous when you think about it. I mean, y'all already know. I've been live streaming the game. I actually enjoy the game. I like playing the game, but I'm not going to be a dummy and just sit here and say, oh, everything is fine, because it's not. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, the franchise mode is very stale, and I mean, the only thing that gets me excited is playing on the field. Mr. Manic Mike, he could be a part of the problem. Let's look at this. I don't think I'm going to read all of this, but let's look into this. I love football. That's why I keep buying the game. It's my only option. I disagree. Yeah, EA has changed a lot this year, especially the speed of the game. I definitely agree with that. Defense feels extremely slow, making it impossible to stop anyone with speed on offense. Be prepared for a lot of drag routes ran from the slot. That even if you use a quick linebacker, you'll have a hard time defending. That's somewhat legit. The run defense feel like it's much better this year. Maybe more like it could be better. They added more moves to the defense, which I actually love. The only downside, once again, is the slowed down defensive player movement, which make it extremely difficult to get the sack. I feel like they were trying to take a step in the right direction with more realistic play, but they didn't strike a good balance. Most of the infuriating part of me would be the terrible AI zone defense. He said that as well. Somebody else said that. The offensive players will stand there like statues as receivers run by. And that in a game which heavily features a mobile quarterback like Lamar Jackson. They probably should have left the QB contained as pre-snap line adjustments for your defense. I said I was going to read all of this, but he's making a lot of sense. I honestly enjoyed this year's Madden a bit more. I enjoyed last year's Madden a bit more, as ushering as fast linebackers to overcome a lot of AI flaws on defense. Yeah, they got to have a balance with that. This year you can have Madden. This year you can just have to let the offense do whatever they want and hope you can stop them in the red zone or force a fumble. That's weird. 6 out of 6 found this helpful though, so they kind of understand where it's coming from. Antonio Wilson says at least there's maximum football and the NFL 2K arcade game. I agree. I'm going to try out Maximum. I think Maximum's going to be okay. Last year, Maximum was not that good. I think I did a review or something like that on this channel last year, and I didn't too much care for the game. But it looked like it's some improvements. I may like it. The Bears says Madden NFL 21 is a disappointment for all football games and gaming fans alike. The game is riddled with gameplay glitches that suck the fun out of playing, many legacy issues, gameplay modes, in-gameplay, game mode content, player models remain untouched. Franchise mode is notoriously shallow and neglected. Franchise mode is still notoriously shallow and neglected. Face of the franchise has increased depth, suffers from an awful, unrealistic story. Yeah, pretty much. I think we kind of get that. Ravens Nation in the chat says, I always thought Madden adopted along with the NFL when rule changes plummeted the league from 2012 to 2015. It's been offense decided for years now, to me at least. Yeah, I agree. Defense was really prominent back in the PS2 days. If you had a good defense on the PS2 games, it really showed. And in some cases, in NCAA 14 as well. And pretty much the NCAA games in general. But, that's a whole nother game. I don't want to try to compare the two right now. But when you had the game back in the PS2 days, defense was really, key. You could build a good defense back then. I'm playing my Raiders franchise right now on Madden 08, and the defense is really, really good. Let's see. A. Davis says only a 3, because I'm only giving it because of the yard. I'm gonna get back to that. Let's see. Let's see. Real Geese says, I'm sick of EA pumping out the same broken garbage year after year. Do they even test this game at all? There's so many things wrong with the core game, with just the core gameplay. I cannot even begin to list them. Do not even get me started on the mess that is franchise. The community is fed up. Fix this grab age. He spelled garbage grab age. Let's look at that. Now, from what we read so far, let me know in the chat, everybody. From what we know so far, Do this game seem like it's being review bombed? Let's be honest. Does it seem like it's being review bombed? Because I'm not sure. I don't think this game is being review bombed. Yeah, I agree, Pooh. I don't think this game is being. I think people are legitimately fed up. Yeah, it's a lot of realistic opinions. I agree with you. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to look at these Metacritic scores because I don't think that this game is actually this bad. But I'm looking at a lot of people with legitimate complaints. Now, the user score up here is 0.4. I'm I don't know about that. But I want to find the ones like see this right here, the ones with zeros. I'm going to read some of these because these are the ones I've been looking for. The ones with zeros and ones. I'm going to read these. You know, the 0, 1s, and 2s. Because I want to see what they put as well. Because that's when you know if the game has really been review bombed or people have legitimate complaints. Because the ones that we was reading between 5 and 3 and someone with 6s. But let's look at these zeros and we're going to find out. Antonio Wilson also said, I think people are just being honest. I agree. I agree with you. Now let's look at all the ones with zeros. Adam Johnson said, this game is atrocious. The same game as Madden 20, which was a bad game. Franchise mode has been the same for all these years. Let's look at this right here. Once again, highlight it. Franchise mode has been the same for all these years. All they added was pass rush moves to the yard. This game should be a 6 max. I'm giving it a 0 because EA has ran out of excuses. This is a great. This right here is a real consumer. I'm not saying everybody else is not, but this is a real consumer complaint. I felt his frustration in that one, and I felt his frustration just by reading that, and I'm pretty sure everybody else who's listening felt that frustration. Jared says, "No, I get it. I'm like you. The gameplay has improved, but people want what they were promised, especially." Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I definitely agree that that's what people are upset about. And I'll be the first one to say that everybody, including myself, should have a right to be upset. And like I told you, the only reason why I said I'm playing this game, I really wanted to put a new football game on my channel to stream. And I honestly think the game is fun. I think it's fun. But when you do this for year after year after year and don't give people what they're, what they should get, and not even what they should get, stuff that used to be in the game before, and they keep, forgetting them, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens. But Adam Johnson, I can't lie, overall, not even talking about gameplay, because he's not talking about gameplay. But when you look at not even compartmentalizing the game like I do, like, okay, gameplay is good, but everything else is ass. Now, when you look at the game as a whole, Adam Johnson basically put it out there. This is exactly what it is. Ravens Nation said, rating the game by itself is not a 0.4, but they're doing what we have been doing for years, which is comparing it to past greats football games, and thus they give it a 0. LOL. I love this by Adam Johnson. I think this is great because he's being honest. He said the game should be a 6 max, and I agree. I think the game itself should be a 6 because, like I said, I think I said on the podcast, the gameplay is an 8. The modes are, I think NYKia said it as well. The modes are maybe a 4, 3.5. And if you put those together, you'll get around a 6. I totally agree. All right, let's see what Sharekan Shun, what he said. An atrocious football simulation game. EA has greatly expanded the number of game modes in Madden over the couple of years. I think I read that already. Yeah, I read that one already. It's one of the few I already read. Hold on. Let's see. Appreciate just some random stuff. Looks like a yeah. That looks like some crazy account. Appreciate the support though. Um, I read that one by Rication already. EA sucks. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. This game is straight up unplayable. Somehow, to a greater degree, the previous Madden few titles, there's still no user control of your players. They get pulled in the animations depends on predetermined outcomes that are scripted. Players still don't know football fundamentals like how to run a route, cover, or block. In fairness, it's hard to learn football fundamentals when the laws of physics in your universe aren't even respected, and the players routinely shift and warp through each other. Wow, he's a little extreme. There are more egregious and game-breaking glitches than ever before, but maybe a prospective buyer can overlook the awful broken gameplay now that there are more microtransactions than ever before. EA is no longer trying to hide its contempt for its customers. Yeah, that's a little bit over the top. I can't agree with everything he said. He was a little bit extreme. Shrek Nation. Yeah, I read that wrong. I'm not good with reading. Game Time says, same game, but actually worse. The gameplay is trash and scripted. The only things that this game care about are microtransactions. Spend your money elsewhere. Okay. I see where he's coming from. Zachary Murphy, thank you for coming by. Zachary Murphy said, this is quite the possibly worst product of a game ever made. Everyone ever. I don't think you ever played NBA Elite 11. But okay. I'm not saying that you're wrong or whatever, but trust me, there's been worse games. I mean, I have NBA Elite 11. That game is absolutely horrible. Ravens Nation said people aren't even asking for new features for franchise. Exactly, they're not. Just give us what we had in the PS2 era franchise. You know what? I absolutely agree, because even with the PS2 franchise, what we had was holdouts. We had, morale of players was there. A legit owners mode, real injuries, career-ending injuries, position battles, practice that really meant something as far as your game plan. You had a lot of stuff going on there. VF, I'm gonna test you. Go play NBA Elite 11. Put a bad game in your stream schedule. I have no problem doing that. Just give me some time. I can do that. I'm hitting my camera. It's not good. We're not going to talk about that YouTuber Antonio Wilson. Let's not do that. I know why he likes it, but I'm not going to go there. JR127 says, all these years we beg for EA to make a better product, and every year they find a way to slap us in the face. This is a glorified $60 patch. Ooh. I can agree with that. The NFL needs to reconsider exclusive deal if this is the best EA has to offer. Pathetic and lazy. Also introducing gambling to children with MUT. P.S. It's not surprising. Oh, okay, I know where he's going with that. BJ Lopez, I appreciate you coming through. Does Maximum Football have the potential to surpass Madden? It's very little, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they'll be able to surpass Madden. They have a very little chance. One thing you got to understand about Madden is not a very good game overall. But when you compare it to something like Maximum, you have to give Madden a nod. Maximum is just not there. I'll give them a small chance because you never know what may happen in the next 5 years. You just don't know. I mean, Maximum could get involved with different developers. They can get involved with people who really know what they're doing. Maybe they're able to program a game that's way, way better than what we've ever seen. So, I think they have the potential, but it's very small potential. Very small. Let's see. The board ref says broken game. Same game. Encouraging children to gamble. No attempt at improvements. Have not tried to improve for years. Games on previous consoles are superior. Ravens Nation, what did we just say? Anybody who's been in the chat, go look up and look what Ravens Nation said. Not only his last, I think it was, yeah, not only his last comment, but the comment before that. Games on previous consoles are superior, and I absolutely agree. The PlayStation 2 original Xbox Madden is probably the best. It's probably the best form of video game football you can find, and you can make an argument that it's better than 2K5, and I'm not joking when I say that. And I love 2K5. All right, let's see. Jared Green says maximum might pass EA within 5 years. Yeah, that's what I just said. I think you just never know who they may come across. They may come across a very talented computer programmer. They may just, they just may come across, some tech that they can use. Let's see where we at. Houston Frog says, I can't justify giving this game anything other than a 0 because it simply doesn't work. There's so many visuals and gameplay bugs honestly feel unfinished. This year, face of the franchise is atrocious, poor voice acting. Yada, yada, yada. Franchise remains basically unchanged from last year. EA touted the yard and shows potential, but was broken and unplayable when I tried it. Let's see. Mwamba Rubin says PS5. I agree. Waiting for the PS5. Spec Poo said, VF, are we still not playing PS2 NCAA or Madden? If it wasn't realistic, really compared to 2K5 or 2K8, but it had authenticity. Absolutely. People don't realize that those games from back in the day, ratings really mattered. Speed mattered. Catching mattered. I mean, where's King David when you need him? King David could tell you that I had a tight end that could not catch. And he legitimately could not catch. He was terrible. Then again, I had a cornerback that had like 98 speed. And he was fast. I mean, he was really, really, really fast. He had like 8 punt returns for a touchdown one season. BJ Lopez asked me, what's my honest opinion of Madden so far? I think Madden on the field is a pretty good game. I love the gameplay. I like the gameplay a lot. It's one of the best Maddens I've played in a long time. But the modes, to balance it out, it just doesn't give you a complete game. The game just feels incomplete. And if it was to me, I'll give the game a 5 or a 6. And I'm leaning towards the 5 because franchise mode is literally unchanged. And the gameplay is nice, but we don't have any refs on the field. It just doesn't feel like you're that immersed. So I'll give it a middle of the road 5, man. Maybe a 6 if I'm, just being generous. Ravens Nation said, another comment to add about the game being offensive favored. They removed the big hits, so going across the middle has become easier and normal. I noticed that as well. I noticed that the big hits aren't the same. You can get a couple at times, but they're just not. But you know what? To be honest with you, the big hits have been taken out of Madden for a while now. Unless, big hits just started to come back when the X Factor stuff came in. Because if you had that X Factor like Jamal Adams have or Keanu O'Neal has, then you can get that hit off like that. But if you're just a regular normal tackler, no, you're not getting it. But yeah, I agree. I just didn't think about that. Exodus 13 says bugs and glitches everywhere. Animations are broken. Realism, yeah, forgot about that. And franchise is still so bare bones, I just can't bear playing it. Fix this game. We deserve better than what this is. Once again, for people who just came in, if you're still here, do y'all feel like this game has been review bombed? I don't think this game has been review bombed. No, I'm not a MUT guy. I play strictly franchise mode. I do not think this game has been review bombed. I think these are people that are legitimately upset. And to be honest with you, low key, I'm actually surprised because when I saw the scores, I was like, no, I want to talk about this live because I was going to go. Matter of fact, I was going to continue my franchise mode tonight after I did my other live stream on my other channel. But what I said I was going to do, I saw these scores. Like, no, I got to look at these scores. I got to. And I want people to come watch this with me and see if they feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see if people still felt the same way as far as what I see. Antonio Wilson says no. So he doesn't think that this game is being review bombed. I don't think it is. I think Madden probably has a real problem on their hands at this point. They have a serious problem on their hands. It's not like the last Maddens where a few people just get mad or whatever and call it a day. People are legitimately upset and they're really starting to let people know. Scott Smith said Luke Kuechly had 20 fumbles one season for me in Madden 20 and I didn't even control him. That is insane. That's insane. I played 6 games. I think I played like 6 games in Madden. You can look. I got a playlist on this channel where I was actually trying to do a franchise mode like I'm doing now. And I only did like 6 episodes of it. It was, I could not get into it. I don't know. That's insane. I don't care if he had Enforcer. I don't care if he had the Justifier. I don't care if he had 4 arms. 20? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Seabass1218 says, this is a new low for Madden NFL. The game claims to be a simulation title, but it makes no attempt to be simulation and replicate real football. They have neglected the hardcore audience and attempt to attract new players that have failed at making those modes fun and entertaining. This game is full of bugs and lacks any depth to keep players coming back for more. The ratings in the game indicate that the rating adjusters don't watch games or at least cannot evaluate what is happening on the field. I think Bills can definitely attest to this right here. Bills is a member of our podcast that we do every Tuesday and Thursday, and he does things as far as ratings. So he tried to adjust ratings, so I'm pretty sure he can attest to this. Every year, Madden looks like a rush product, and this year's no different. I genuinely hope EA learns from their mistake and don't put out another game this bad. I think this is another honest review right here. What's up, Suave? I know you're Suave from Twitter. I was going to pick up a little later, looking like I should wait until they make necessary fixes. If you want my opinion, either way you won't be wrong. I got it now. If you want to get it, you have a PC. Honestly, I would say just get it on EA Access on PC. Pay $15 and play it for a little while. Instead of, what's up, Neff? I appreciate you coming through. Neff says, Madden ratings are very global at best. Trust me on that. Yeah, I agree with you because you're another one that actually goes into the you're another one that goes into the rating. So I absolutely understand where you're coming from. I think Seabass is another one. Seabass and the other guy that was up there at the top. Those are like, you can tell these are like customers that were actually disappointed. This is not a review bomb of the game. These are people like really upset. PMCG06 says, this is criminal to put out a game this awful. Being the only NFL simulation game on the market is absurd that EA Sports somehow got the exclusivity renewed by putting out garbage year in and year out. This game is focused on microtransactions and has been for years. The release was a debacle with so many server issues, and to top it off, not only did it have the same glitches in years past, it also introduced new ones like no lines on the field, rainbow colored coaches. I have not seen a rainbow colored coach, but I believe them. If this game didn't have the NFL license, no one would think twice of buying this rubbish. So sad we have been subjected to such trash. I hope one day we are treated with a simulation football game that the NFL with the NFL license that we deserve. One that does not rely on scripted animations, a franchise that is engaging, gaming modes that were a part of the game over 10 years ago. Let's go back and look at that right here. A franchise that is engaging, game modes that were a part of the game over 10 years ago. That's not a review bomb. That is not a review bomb. That is a legitimate diehard, not only a diehard Madden football gamer, he's a diehard football gamer, like football games, because he knows what's been going on. Wow. Uno, where have you been? I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel to comment. Congratulations, bro, on the new life you brought into the world as well, bro. Congratulations on that. Uno Trex just became a father recently, so y'all guys, congratulate him. Many blessings coming his way. But that's crazy, man. These people know what's up. Ravens Nation say, I do like they improved the running animations a bit over Madden 20. Yes, the running animation is much better than Madden 20. Madden 20's running animation was very squatty. Very squatty. This year, they kind of got a little bit better. Neff says, I'm not buying, playing, or putting Madden 20 anything in the Neff cave. If they make a next-gen Madden better, no point. Let's see. DJH32 says, wholly disappointing. I'm not sure what's going on, but one of the biggest priorities has just been reskinned for another year. Everybody knows what he's talking about, right? Once again, I'll read that again. Wholly disappointing. Not sure what's going on, but one of the biggest priorities have just been reskinned for another year. Everybody knows he's talking about franchise mode. And he should have put quotations around biggest priorities. That's crazy. And these are all zeros. Look at this. These are all zeros. And there's a 1 right here. Wesker fan said this review contains spoilers. All right, whatever. This is a football game. Spoiler alert, this game is hot garbage. Franchise was ignored yet again. Then the rollout of the game for online was a complete disaster. Paid $100 to get the game. What? Oh, you don't deserve to get. Anybody who deserves a 0 for that is you, sir. And then on top of that, he paid $100 to get those extra MUT packs. Well, sorry, the game isn't giving you those packs right now. Why would you pay $100 to get this game early when you could have paid, what, $5 on EA Access to get it early? You could have saved $95 and just paid on EA Access. And if you're paying this on PC, you could have paid $15 to get it 10 days early. That's crazy. Uno Tres says, I'm actually liking the game. Few BS legacy animation, but overall it's decent. Better than the last one I played. I agree with you. I'm right there with you. Before you came in, somebody asked me, what did I think about the game? I'm right there with you. I think the game is okay. I just think that the modes are not that good. But I do think that I do think that the gameplay is pretty good. But why would you do this? What the hell is wrong with Wesker? Wesker paid $100 for this game. He deserves a 0 for that. Neff1 says, I'll be keep playing 2K8. My pretend Florida over a shiny new broken Madden. Hey, I ain't mad at that. APF still plays a pretty good game of football. It does very well. Yeah, that game plays pretty good. I mean, APF it's not the best game ever, but you can get a pretty good game of football out of that. Let's see. What it says? Eric says EA needs to change the game on the most fundamental level. Franchise mode has long been ignored. Face of the franchise is predictable and poorly acted / written, and even the wacky mode like the yard, it can't change the buggy scripted football game EA releases year after year. Pretend NFL. Hey, listen, man. If it works for you, man, that's all that matters. Let's see. Rage WSG. Rage says copy and paste of Madden 20. Same glitches, played Madden for okay. The Birdman pretty much says the same thing. Trying to think I can see something that's as actually, interesting to say. Jared Green says APF is one of the in the chat. Jared says APF is one of the best. The only knock is no franchise mode. It's one of the best. I can agree. Ravens Nation said franchise is so poor. I would take Madden 13 disappointed CFM over current state it's in now. It's that bad. Madden 13 wasn't that bad though. I don't think it was that bad. As far as franchise mode, anyway. Trail says there's a football game. There's football in this game. Aside from that, there's a lot of gambling, glitches, and stagnation. If you like this game for MUT, avoid the gotcha games. Joey Chucklehead says no improving franchise mode at all. The gameplay is the same, but with more bugs and glitches. The yard does not even work. Like I said, guys, I don't think this game is being review bombed. I think these are people with legitimate complaints. I really think these people have legitimate complaints. And it sucks because you would think that with the gameplay that's on the field, you would think, most people would be around a 5, 4. But these people that are putting zeros out here, I'm pretty sure the game is not necessarily a 0. But most of the people we're talking right here, the people who are giving it a 0, these are people who have been playing Madden for a while. You can tell that they've been playing football games for a while because of the things that they're saying in their comments. These are not people that have just been playing the last 2 or 3 years. These are people who've been playing probably since the PS2 or early PS3 days. Look at JMM 15412. The game is an atrocity. Franchise mode has been abysmal for the last 8 years. Said franchise mode's been abysmal for the last 8 years. That's since 2012. You know what came out in 2012? Madden 13. Like I said, these are people who've been playing, and look at this. The next thing that he says, he's just like me. Like, please give us offline gamers a reason to buy the game. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. This guy he's the real deal. This guy's the real deal. I did not realize he put this much into this. Listen, I'm going to read this. I have to read this. This one is good. I know this one is good. This one is going to be good. Please give us offline gamers a reason to buy the game. Let us relocate, rebrand. Let us assign assistant coach. Look, I think y'all going to love this. I haven't even read it all. I think y'all going to love this. Let us assign assistant coaches. Let us meet and ask college players questions before the draft to see if they fit with what we want to build our team. Another issue, why does the second preseason game have the same exact energy as week 17 game with a rival with the division on the line? Wow. Why there isn't a halftime show with more highlights, analysts discussing what teams or players could be doing better, what players have been playing well. I'm sure Menfee, Bradshaw, Long, Strahan, and Johnson would love to be in the game. For God's sakes, please get rid of this commentary team. Give us Nance and Romo. Face of the franchise is horrible, flat out horrible. How are you going to market to the combine to us and then have the 40-yard dash be a cut scene? Saying the story itself is cringe-worthy is giving it too much credit. It stinks. No matter how good or bad you play, you always seem to get drafted by the Bears. Where's the fun playing if it's the preset the way you go? Next, the presentation hasn't changed in the last 4 years. The Super Bowl celebration has been virtually identical since 2017. This person is on Twitter, because only on Twitter you would have noticed that the Super Bowl celebration is identical, because somebody put that on Twitter. This person is on Twitter. One of the biggest gripes this game and Madden in general, current gen, and other how bad franchise is, has been the emergent aspect. I raise my hand because I'm right there with them. He's telling on himself now. I've owned every Madden since 03. EA needs to explain how Madden on PS2 and PS3 have been far better, more fun than PS4 installments. For the life of me, I just don't understand why we can't get a real career mode. How we play in college and combine should affect our rankings on the draft board. How sick it would be if NFL analysts sitting at a desk at the draft talking about your player and a college stats and combine on the night of the draft. Have your college player meet with teams and the coaches to discuss how well you fit in before the draft night. Scouting just needs to be a complete overhaul. Blocking needs to be overhauled. I don't need my tight end running past an untouched linebacker to block a safety 15 yards down the field on a stretch play. Then you have little things like typos, grammatical errors, glitches. Really? Madden 21 is an unfinished product. To be honest, I think they should have skipped this current gen version and put all the efforts into the PS5 and the new Xbox installments of the game. But based off the fact they've wasted an entire generation of consoles with Madden for PS4 and Xbox One, I don't have my hopes for next gen. This is an amazing review. This is the best one. Now, I've said a couple other ones was really good. I don't think nothing's going to top this one. This was a fantastic review. You know what? I need to screen cap that. Hold on. I need to screen cap that. Where's my Guyzo? Where is it? I need to screen cap that. I need to screen cap that like right now. Oh, where is I got too many icons on my screen. Jesus. Oh, here it is. I had to save that, everybody. I'm sorry. I know the screen kind of jacked up a little bit. I had to save that. That was great. That was great. I had to screen cap that because I think I need to talk about that another time. That was good. That was really good. Let's see, what did I miss? What's going on, B5? I appreciate you for coming through. Wow, Scott Smith said, well, I'm playing right now. I got the no lines glitch in my franchise. Are you playing on console? I wonder if that's a console thing. Pooh, when you played the game on PC, did you see the no lines on the field? Cause I played on PC and I haven't seen it. I'm not saying that it's not there, but people, most people I've seen that. Yeah, I wonder if that's a console thing. Cause on PC I have not seen it at all, and I'll be the first one to say I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm not saying that it's not there. It's just that the fact that I noticed it a lot on consoles. But then again, this was a great review. Cause he broke it all the way down. And I kind of had a feeling it was gonna be like that. Let's see. Any other ones? Lethal Weapon says, absolutely terrible game. Same glitches have been around for years. Terrible AI. AI fails to do basic football knowledge. Franchise mode is garbage and they choose to waste more time on the yard than the actual game. Don't waste your money on this game. All right, Neff, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. I really appreciate it, man. Hope to see you around. I know you'll be back, man. I appreciate the support. If you haven't already, go check out Neff1. I think he still does stuff on his channel. He talks about APF, and I know he does a pretty good job with sliders on Madden as well. Uno Tres says, I think they should bring the scouting from NCAA for free agency. Assistant coaches, game plan elements from the head coach. Another element is that they could add an NCAA series that are the boosts. Returning players they get from spring ball. Yeah, I can agree with that. I would see, I would see no issue with that. Okay, this should be a good one. E. Medina says, I never done this before, and I created an account just for this. The game is terrible, arguably the worst game I've ever played. It sucks on every level. I did not like Madden 20, but in 24 hours, I wanted my refund. Everything is wrong. The defenders will just sit and watch the ball carrier run right past them. Defenders will stop running in the middle of a play because they're out of stamina. And the physics are more broke as usual. Big rigs. Oh God, he said big rigs might be more of a polished game than this. If y'all don't know what big rigs is, go to Angry Video Game Nerd. Don't go there now. Go after the stream is over. Go to Angry Video Game Nerd and look up big rigs and watch that game. That game is horrible. It's so bad my wife even acknowledged how bad the game is. Big rigs might be more of a polished game than this. I do not have to get started on CFM. We all know it's a disaster. Anyone that says there's nothing wrong with the game is either insane or he said anyone who said there's nothing wrong with the game is either insane or paid by EA. I regret purchasing this atrocity of a game. Madden 21 is an insult to anyone who calls himself a football fan or an insult to anyone who calls themselves a gamer. Before this game, I would have said Madden 20 is the worst game I played, but 21 takes the cake. The grind for month is so unreal. It's like I have a part-time job because I refuse to drop hundreds on an online casino to be competitive. Pokemon Fire Red is a better game than this on every level. Squads are the only way you can play QB if you snap under the ball in the center. This is the last one I like what he said right. He said, I hope everyone at Madden and EA know that one day all the chickens will come home to roost. Once again, for the people who just came in, like B5, anybody else who hasn't answered yet, probably didn't know. I think these are legitimate complaints. I don't think people are review bombing this game. Maybe the zeros are maybe a little exaggerated, but the actual comments, I can see why I can see why they are legit. I can honestly see why the comments are legit. This guy right here has never done it. He says right here at the top, I've never done this before and I created an account just for this. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's lying. Maybe he already had this account. I don't know. Let's find out if he is lying. Look at this right here. All his user reviews. He's not lying. This is actually his first review. Come on, man. People are... I'll be the first one to admit, I think Madden 21 plays a pretty decent game of football. I have no gripes with what's on the field. But I can understand these people's feelings about the modes in this game. B5 says, I played current gen 21 on Xbox, EA Access, then played 20 on the PS4. Not convinced 21's new features should compel anyone to buy 21 if you have 20, unless you have your NY Kia and have a league games to play. I can agree with that. Where did that dude go? What the hell is going on? My timeline is a mess with this stuff. NYK, I'm going to tell you right now, man. I don't think this game's been review bombed. That's one of the reasons why I started this stream. And everybody who's here, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. If you don't mind, hit the like button. And, help this channel grow. Not only that I talk about Madden, we do play games over here. Also, we have a podcast every Tuesday and Thursday. If you guys don't know, every Tuesday and Thursday we talk about stuff like this. But like I said, NYKid, I don't think this game's been review bombed. I think people have legit complaints. Yeah, the zeros might be kind of crazy, but I've been going through this for about an hour and 20 minutes now, and some of the things these people are saying are legit. Not too many people. You have a few people saying something's going on with the gameplay or whatever, but a lot of people just legitimately fed up with the game as a package. I just got finished reading a whole paragraph of a guy. If you go back like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, of a guy who just basically put it out there, and he made a compelling case for why he does not like the game. This last one I just read, this one guy never did an account for this, but he told you exactly how he felt. Tony Wilson asked, what game am I streaming tomorrow for a retro stream? I still plan on doing Fight Night 04 or Knockout Kings 2000. It's going to be one of the two. I am KJ'd, well, whatever the hell is KJ'd. I'm not good with names. Enough is enough. For more than a decade, you've been slacking on this game series, constantly neglecting fans. Now you're just clowning us. As an example, we've been asking you for years to add mouth guards, but it was not possible, you told us. However, you now add them in the yard where you can buy them for real money, but not in a real sim game. Furthermore, completely neglecting franchise gameplay. Well, actually anything that does not involve microtransaction. It's a goddamn disgrace. Money grab game, that's all it is. Don't clown yourself and save the $60. I cannot. I can't disagree with that. I can't not disagree with what this man just said. Scott Smith said, I mainly play this game in the league with friends and coworkers. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't buy this game. NYK said, no problem with people complaining about game modes. There really isn't much to do if you're a guy who just wants a solo experience. And that's where I am. I mean, NYK, he knows, everybody else knows, I play offline. And for me, I have to create this immersion in my mind to play the game. And, and that's okay for right now. God damn it, I ran out of something to drink. That'd be rude to get up and go get something to drink. I don't want to do that. Might have to though. Which version of Knockout Kings? 2000, N64, PS1. If I do it will be PS1. I have not been able to find the N64 version, which I would like to have because I want to expand my Nintendo 64 collection, but I have yet to find the N64 version of the game. So it will be the PS1. Let's see. Now this is the first one that we've seen. This is a review bomb. Underrated King right here. This is a review bomb. And we've been here for 89 minutes. That's an hour and 29 minutes. And this is the first legit review bomb that I've seen. I think everybody else here can agree with that, right? This is the first legitimate review bomb. Everybody else that has been talking actually has, they actually have a legit complaint. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you as well, Pooh. It's a good game on the field. Giving it a 7. That's around right around. I said 5, leaning towards 5, maybe a 6. 7. I can see that. APTSJ said this is the worst release Madden in history of the franchise. What Trip Hopkins, the founder of EA, must think of the game is shameful pretense of simulation when the game couldn't be further away from that. I have no idea. Madden 04 through 12 had a better franchise mode. Anything we've seen in the last 9 years. When I load up the old Madden, it's painful to go to the latest version and experience the wasteland of a franchise mode. I don't know if this game could be even turned around at this stage. Madden is going by the way of NBA Live. The worst, Ed Snake said, the worst Madden yet. 15 years of the license exclusivity and no competition has led us to this point. EA only cares about MUT and microtransaction. Franchise mode was far better back into Madden 05. Do yourself a favor and buy that or NFL 2K5 off eBay instead of this garbage. Boycott Madden. I agree with you as well, Kia. 21 is easily better than 20. I do agree with that. Only seen one review bomb so far. I think, like I said earlier, I think the zeros are a little bit exaggerated. But it does not negate the fact that these guys have legitimate, honest complaints. I should look at Underrated King's review. I just talked about that. Chad, see what's going on. What about Madden Next Gen is going to be weird? Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be weird as well because I don't know I don't know what to expect at this point. I think a lot of people thinking that it's going to be some type of blown away experience. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I think that we're going to be dealing with, I'm not sure. I think we're going to be dealing with, possibly a port. I could be wrong. I may be wrong. I think we probably will get a port with, ray tracing. Yeah, exactly, Chad. See, no full redesign, just an upgrade. I think. Yeah, I think that too. We could be wrong. We could be getting a new game from the ground up, and I hope that's the case because a lot of people don't realize that this Madden is still a product from the PS3 360 code. It's still a build from that. It's not ran off the same type of. It's not built off the same, off of a different engine. It's built off the Madden 06 360 code. Now that game came out in late 2005. That's 15 years ago. I agree with you, Quayface. They cannot port this game. I agree. They cannot and should not port this. I don't know, man. Let's scroll down a little bit longer and then we'll probably wrap it up. It's going on almost an hour and a half. I'll say 2 hours is pretty good for me. I think I could do it 2 hours max, but I'm not sure. What's up, boy? Said they haven't changed Madden since 2013. They haven't changed the game since 2013. I kind of disagree with that. Franchise is still playing an unimpressive mode, and has been for the past couple of years. Yet yes, it's EA's mode. EA cashed millions to retain the rights of it. Like all other arcade modes are filled with glitches and microtransactions. Face of the franchise is incredibly cheesy, and it doesn't take into account what your player has done to craft the story. Horrible game from a horrible company. Oh, goodness. Scott Smith says, next gen will look nice, have better loading times. That's about it. I would love better AI. B5 said, I'm pretty removed from Madden every year as it gets this month in the sun and then I'm out. Chad says, I'm really surprised that Microsoft hasn't gotten into the football game. I think that's Microsoft. At least support Maximum on Game Pass. I think if they put them on Game Pass, I think that'd be a good look for Maximum. I think that'd be a pretty good look for them. You know what? Look at this. Look at CJ Money. This review contains spoilers. Click expand the view. So I click it, and this is what it says. EA continues to ignore its customers and release a lazy effort of a game with too many issues once again. This is the second review bomb that I've seen today. Now, I've read a whole bunch of reviews, and I think that's the second honest. I feel that's a review bomb. Everybody else actually have legitimate complaints. Last name Moore says, don't buy. Just download the roster on the community page. It's just the same game. They'll gladly take your money on MUT, and you'll never see those resources used on the game. No changes to franchise mode. Add an arcade mode in the game that has a simulation exclusive rights because 2K got rights. Keep getting robbed. That's pretty legit. I see that. I understand where he coming from. B5 says, but then again, if I was a year-long Madden faithful, I guess I'd be happy for the new offering. I don't know, man. Whoa, I just seen something I haven't seen in a while. Threw the ball right after I snapped it. Normally, you'll have to do your drop back first. Yeah, you can do that. Chad C says, the real question is, will there be a Madden 22 on PS4? Could it hold Madden 22 back on PS5 if so? I think it could. I think it could. I mean, because unless if they just completely copy and paste, like for real copy and paste, and just update the rosters. If they're going to try to put any type of work into it, yeah, I think it could take manpower away easily. All right, let's see. Getting late. I think I read Manic Mike's earlier because he had a 3. Tony 54769 says, I lost faith in EA to deliver a half-decent football game. I've fallen for EA's marketing scheme far too long, and I'm just done getting my hopes up. I continue to buy this game because I hope to experience how it feels to be a part of the National Football League, but instead I get a typical EA experience. And the sad truth is, I think that the developers at EA want to give us a good game, but they're not capable of doing so. In conclusion, I'm buying 2 copies of 2K's next football game. Tony, I think Tony's probably a guy on Twitter as well. 'Cause that's a lot of talk that you hear on Twitter. Either that or this guy listens to us or the Sim Standard podcast. I think he listens to First and Frame Rates and Sim Standard because this comment right here tells you that you only get that kind of commentary from us. The sad truth is I think that the developers at EA want to give us a good game, but maybe are not capable of doing so. Tony listens to us and or the Sim Standard podcast. This is borderline review bomb. I'd be easier to say what's good. The jerseys sometimes look nice. The end. That's another borderline review bomb. Chad C says, and if both versions share code, then PS5 Madden 22 won't have advanced AI. You might be right. Tegan the Taco said they are selling you an update for Madden 20 that costs $60. I don't know about that. Delutes said, yeah, I never reviewed Bomb, but EA deserved this. I'm sure the tens combating these bombs are from people who enjoy the game. Nothing inherently wrong with that. However, I care about gaming in the industry as a whole, and what EA has done for the last 10 years is a complete joke. I do agree with that. They don't have to make a whole new game every year, but they need to have a good foundation. Madden hasn't had a good foundation in years, and they have had plenty of feedback. They just know that they don't have to listen. Consider F1 or even 2K for the latter, which has the same microtransactions modes, but the foundation is still there to enjoy. You can have a great experience without that stuff. Maybe people like MUT, that's fine, but the core Madden experience is bad. I expect the game to be I can't expect the game to be perfect, but I need it to have enough redeeming qualities to accept its flaws. Madden hasn't accomplished this baseline in years. This is a pretty good comment. So honestly, at the end of the day, what you guys think? You think this honestly got review bombed, or you just got people that are just fed up? I think these people pretty much are just legitimately upset. At the end of the day, I think they're flat out upset. What's going on? What's going on, Apex? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, Scott Smith, I'm with you. I think people are like really, really fed up at this point. They're fed up because, it's easy to say what this guy right here said. JDHDJD. It's real easy to say what Underrated King put. You know what I mean? Those are legit trolls and review bombs. Oh man. Apex and B5 is in the chat together. That's something. Chad C says, I feel like Mills is the funniest Madden defender online right now. I stopped following Mills. Me and Mills get along, but the problem with Mills is too wishy-washy. DJ say he has a video uploading, so you guys check that video out once I'm done here. Oh hell, open up another tab if you're on your computer and watch both. While you're at it, go over there and sub to his channel. Yeah, Apex. B5 was just talking in the chat. I hope he didn't leave when you came in. 'Cause I know y'all got some catching up to do. Chad C said a long time ago I said that we would be old men and too old to play by the time EA fixes Madden. Chad C, what's your Twitter handle? Cause I think you said that on Twitter. I could be wrong. Cause I remember somebody saying that on Twitter, but I don't know if it was you. I mean, damn near saying that for verbatim. All right, let's see. My wife is snoring in the background. I'm surprised y'all don't hear her. She don't run around with my son all day. I know she's tired. How did this topic become a big dust up? This is a good question, NYK. I'm going to tell you why. This is my opinion. Citizen Chad was talking with the details of who is Gridiron Gamer now. Whoa. Okay. Let's get back to this question. This topic became a big dust up because of fixed Madden franchise. And then when the game came out, they had a handful of glitches in the game. I don't think this is necessarily a problem with the gameplay. A lot of people say the gameplay is all right. Yeah, some people just say the game's trash, game's trash, game trash. Certain players don't do this, certain players don't do that. For the most part, a lot of people just fed up. But I think it all started with the fixed Madden franchise, and then come to find out that nothing much has been changed in the game from a Mo's perspective. This is another review bomb right here. I don't even have to repeat that. I mean, why would I repeat that? That should, honestly, I think that should be considered spam, and Metacritc should remove this. Honestly, I think this should be considered as spam, and the people at Metacritc should have removed this comment and tell this guy, you need to stop spamming these reviews. Chad C says Mills is aggressively attacking people who call out Madden right now. He can do that in his Twitch chat, but has gone to the status of EA shield. I'm not sure, but I think Mills is still a EA game changer. And I think that's one of the reasons why he does what he do. But your drip god, he needs to be. This should be spam. They should get rid of that. Mickey843 said, I'm so sick of this garbage year after year. If you want to make a simulation game with realistic franchise, I'll jump aboard. If you want to continue to make the same with arcade crap, rename the title. Enjoy the microtransaction fest that you turned into the legendary Madden title, in my opinion. Face of the franchise has a 40-yard dash in the combine. If you're a wide receiver, you run a 4.3. Running back 4.3.4, quarterback 4.6. No matter how fast or slow you react to the button system. I'm going to leave that one alone. Califlate. Yes, that's right. The NFL needs to pay attention. I haven't reached this point yet, but my friends won't watch games with me anymore. They were big Madden players because the game gets worse, the NFL keeps signing new deals and have solely stopped watching games, putting a bad name on the NFL. Chad C said Mills got the game free code this year. I heard that they held off on codes for anyone who participated in. If you put the hashtag of Fix Madden franchise, they not give you a code. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that. I'm going to be approaching 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm about to get ready to wrap this up. If y'all got any questions, please let me know if y'all got any questions. First of all, I have a question. Do y'all like this new setup that I did with the camera and the logo up there, and I have the screen right here so we can actually, read along or talk about stuff? Do y'all like this setup? Because I think about keeping it if y'all like it. I didn't think this was going to be a thing. I honestly didn't know how well it would be received. But I still don't know until you guys let me know. How do y'all like this? Y'all like this? Y'all like this setup? Let me know, man. Setup is cool. Appreciate that, Scott. Last year, Mills went on a valid rant on Twitch about Madden 20 like a franchise improvement. Then he apologized and deleted the vid. The rant was after 2K dropped their My League vlog. Yep, you're right. And DJ is exactly right. We roasted Mills about his flip-flop. Yep, sure did. I think that was the beginning of the end when I stopped following him, because I'm just not that type of guy to sit here and say I want to be buddies with a company for some video games. I'm just not that kind of guy. Exactly, Goop. You said, I appreciate you coming by, but you haven't looked at him the same since. I agree. I haven't looked at him the same either. It's ridiculous. Clint is seemingly really, really petty lately. He's getting the thin-skinned EA devs get after working on a game over a few years. I can see that. I can see he's trying to be, snarky and snap back, but it seems like it flops. It doesn't have that power behind it when he tries to come back at people. If y'all got any other questions, let me know, man. I'm going to be leaving out of here once the stream gets to 120 minutes. That'll be 2 hours. So that'll be around 12:19. I'm sorry, not 12:19. 12:11. 12:10. So if y'all got any questions, please let me know, because it's after midnight. I'm gonna give me some rest. But I had to do this because I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting to see the Metacritc scores and see if people were actually mad or they were just review bombing. I don't think this review bombing. Chassis says, so I have this decoded what the official sim license mean for EA and Madden. If you do, I don't know if you should put that out right here. Put it out tomorrow when I stream, or put it out on the podcast, so that'll be something to respond to. So if you look at the user score distribution, 15 people said positive things about it. 5 people said they were mixed about the game. And Jesus Christ, 766 people had something negative to say. Man, this is crazy. That is nuts. Yeah, people have been going back and forth on what the phrasing means. Video is up and it's live. So I'm going to be getting out of here in a few minutes. Y'all go over there to DJ and check out his video. I appreciate everybody who came through, the ones who liked, disliked, shared, commented in the chat. The chat has been really good today. This is very interesting, this entire thing with Madden 21 and the reviews that it's getting. I don't think they're getting review bombed. I don't think they're getting reviewed, but I think people are legitimately mad. Thank you, Chad C, man. Thank you, Chad. I have no problem trying my best to give you guys some form of content that I find interesting. And I think if I find it interesting, I think you guys find it interesting. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool that we all can get here and just talk about the stuff. Chad C says the layout looks good. I appreciate that. When I do more streams like this, I'll definitely be keeping this setup. I thought it'd be pretty cool. So I actually tried it and it worked out. I had a little issue with the camera at first, but I got that working. Madden is wobbling and on the ropes. I agree. I think the gameplay is good, but that's not enough. It's not enough. So if you haven't already, man, hit the like button, share, let people know what we're doing over here, so we can get more eyes, looking at us. More words commenting at us so we can comment back. So y'all got anything else? I'm gonna go ahead and slide, man. I am beat. I am tired. I worked today, but I had to do this. I thought this would be interesting. So this was fun. I enjoyed this, and we're gonna be doing more of these. I'm gonna go ahead and slide out, everybody. Y'all be safe. Check us out on Tuesday and Thursday for the First and Frame Rates podcast. Myself, DJ 81, and Bill's Fourth. DJ has a video that's up right now on his channel. You click his name, and I'm pretty sure you can find his channel, or whatever the case may be. It's gonna be pretty. I know it's gonna be a pretty decent piece of content to watch. So I will be back going live, probably playing a few games tomorrow, and everybody, just can't wait to get back into these games. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Just thinking out loud, I don't even know what to say, man. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I definitely will. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be good. Y'all have a good night. Peace.